This podcast episode is sponsored by Shopify Queen Sarah Jensel of Jensel & Co. Do you currently have a Shopify site selling products or services that aren't performing as well as you're hoping? Or do you have a product or service you'd love to sell, but you have no idea where to start? Well, my girl, Sarah Jensel, the Shopify Queen, is a person to talk to. She is amazing and brilliant at branding and is currently helping me completely revamp my website on Shopify to showcase my new brand and selling my products. So if this sounds like something you've been looking for, please reach out to her on IG at Sarah Jensel, that's Jansel. Leave her the code Sylvie, that's Sylvie, and she will add you to her free Shopify Facebook group, where she coaches weekly on Shopify strategies and has tons of content to help you in your Shopify journey to building your online business. So don't forget, DM her on Instagram at Sarah Jensel, Jansel, and leave her the code Sylvie. She'll reach out and add you to her community. Thank you very much and have an amazing day and enjoy the episode. Welcome to Secrets from the Saddle podcast. I'm Sylvie Dow, your host, fellow cyclist, bike club founder, cycling coach, bike race junkie, just truly super passionate about cycling. My journey with cycling started 20 years ago when I opened a spin studio, started a women's race team, and founded a women's only cycling club called Cycle Fit Chicks. I'm super thrilled to reveal all aspects that make the world of cycling operate. I'm so excited to be able to bring you interesting people from around the world, pro cyclists, recreational cyclists, coaches, event organizers, bike shop owners, everything and everyone you need to know or ever wondered about when it comes to cycling. I know you'll enjoy this episode. Hey friends, Sylvie here, from your host from Secrets from the Saddle, All Things Cycling podcast. And this episode is called When Your Body Talks, You Better Be Listening. So it's a bit of a race report from last weekend, which I was supposed to be in Michigan at Coast to Coast. And I did a whole segment, talking about how I trained for this. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you're following social media, the podcast on Instagram, that's where I'm at right now. And my Facebook page, I didn't go. I didn't go because I came down with a really bad cold. Or I can't say I came down with it. I believe after the weekend of Ride to Conquer Cancer, I was so fatigued that Monday that I didn't feel like myself until Thursday. And then I rode and I could feel something coming on, and I didn't get a lot of sleep during the week. I'm really working on that. I'll talk to Joe Friel, but I'm really working on that because if I want to keep up what I'm doing now, I need to be really focused so much on my sleep over training, because if you don't get good sleep, you can't possibly be prepared for good training because you're always freaking tired. So it was just like a lead up of things. I could feel my throat kind of getting sore, and no, I don't have COVID. I've had these symptoms before, and I know exactly what's happened. As soon as my throat starts getting itchy, I know that I'm close to getting a full-on cold. And so I was feeling it, but I had Wednesday night, I had my whole car packed, everything. I was ready to go. I had rallied the girls, and my food and my gear and everything was ready to go, my cooler. And then I woke up Thursday morning and I had no voice, and my throat was super sore, and I was super tired. And so I just looked at my husband. I was scheduled to leave at 7 a.m. because I had a 12-hour drive to Michigan, to Lovington, where the event was, basically on the other side of Michigan. I think it's Lake Michigan. That's where we're starting. And and I just booked my campsite and everything, and I had put together a group of women on a gravel page who are going there, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have my team tent. Let's all hang out and like cheer each other on and stuff like that. So it was gonna be a really fun weekend, and you know, that is what makes me so sad, was that whole point of missing out on meeting these women. So that was, that made me sad, and because I rallied them to show up, and we are going to hang out, and then of course riding in Michigan, which I'd seen the pictures. I was really looking forward to the terrain. And for those two things, I was pretty sad. But here's the thing. So in the morning, I was debating, right? I could see like how the whole weekend was unraveling. And I really was worried about getting down there and getting more sick, like driving 12 hours over the border, and just my body getting more tired and sick as I was going, and then being stuck in the States in a sick state. Not a sick state, but myself being sick. So I know that Thursday night has to be 100% really good sleep, because Friday, you're packing, you're anxious, you get up early to eat and get ready. And so Friday is usually a write-off. So that's why Thursday night has to be top quality, early to bed sleep. And so I was going to be camping, right? And then I had my Friday all set out, going to put up the tent and getting my race kit and just hanging out and checking out the place. And then riding 8 hours on Saturday, and then turning around and driving back 12 hours on Sunday. So I was just, putting the scenario, doing the math, and I just turned to my husband. He's just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't feel like, and I mulled it over, and it had nothing to do with the drive. Like, I was fully prepared. I was just not fully recovered from the big effort that I put in 2 weeks ago. And so here's the thing. So I had to cancel. Like, I don't feel guilty and I don't feel bad for those. There's the two things I told you that I felt sad about, but at the end of the day, you have to listen to your body. You can't just go because you signed up. I messaged Mark, the organizer. I said, I can't come. I'm just sick. And he's like, "Oh, I'll give you a refund." I go, "You're not going to give me a refund." I said, "This is the name of the game, right? I lost the money. I totally get it. And I would never ask for a refund because, so, just moving forward, I just laid in bed all day. I was totally tired and fatigued, and my cold just hit me. So Thursday and then Friday again was so tired, and my husband had plans already with the kids, so they continued doing their own stuff. And I decided to go riding on Saturday morning just to see how I felt. Like, I felt a little bit better, and I nearly died. It was like 20 kilometers. So again, I'm so glad I didn't put the efforts into going down there and potentially DNFing, because I have never DNF'd for a race. And 150 kilometers is a long way to pull yourself if you're not feeling good. So there's that. But here's the thing, I did those 2 episodes with Joe Friel, and I highly recommend that you go back and look at them, listen to them. They're a 3-part series on the aging athlete, because I could just listen to him in my head. He's like, "Sylvie, sleep is so important." He goes, and I was telling him about my sleep patterns. He's like, you got to figure out how you can get more sleep. And I was totally like, yeah. After that, just looking at my current sleep pattern for that week, and because I track it, know exactly how many hours I've been getting. It's like an average of 6 hours a night, which is not conducive to being able to put out the efforts that I want to put out and being able to recover quickly. So as you age, you can't just pull off the all-nighter and then go out riding hard the next day and, have a nap and it's okay. We're no longer 30 or 40. 50 is a different story. And I kind of, going through that experience made me realize just that. I think I was way too ambitious, getting into, I really wanted to get back into doing events, period. And doing a big event like that, I hadn't done in like well over a decade, a back-to-back event like that. And, look at how my body responded and look at how much time I needed to recover from that. So big eye opener for me. And also, I'm going to be doing things a lot differently with regards to rest, recovery. Sleep is a huge one, so that I'll be always working on. And just so that I can continue to train the way I want to train and not be completely, tired and fatigued after, maybe some hard efforts or long rides on the weekends, and being able to be competitive, when I go to events. Because let's face it, I don't know about you, but I like to go to events to have fun, but I'm in race mode. I hate to say, I can't even say I'm not, because as soon as I line up on the start line, that's it. Like, if you can't keep up to me, then I'm just gone. And, maybe you might catch up to me later, but that's just the way I feel, the way I am. Group rides are for riding together. Going to events is going out and testing yourself. You don't want to call it a race. Don't call it a race, but it's a fucking race. You know what I mean? So that was a huge learning experience. And I don't ever want to stretch myself like that again, because I know what it does. Compounds, it can get worse. Sickness can happen at the end of the day or at the end of the year or like 5 years from now if you keep pushing yourself like that. So yeah. So if you have an experience, if you're older, like in your 50s, like me, and you've gotten back into events and, you kind of tackled it like you were 30, 40 years old. How did your body respond? I want to know. And so you can send me a DM on Instagram at Secrets from the Saddle Podcast or through YouTube. I'll see both of them. But I'd love to know how you felt and what you did to change things up, if you did. So with that, yeah, when your body talks, you better be ready to listen. I also going to say, like, I know quite a few people who've just burnt the candle at both ends, and, they've gotten super sick with like either MS or brain tumor or something, cancer. Your body will dictate and will slow you down. And so it's so important to really trust and listen, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that you are becoming less of an athlete. And I think a lot of us think like that because we are so much like this at one point in time, and then you're like slowing down, you're tired, you're this, you're that. I mean, there's reasons for that. If you dig deep enough into your lifestyle, there's reasons why you are feeling the way you're feeling, but you got to figure it out, and you've got to acknowledge it and make the appropriate changes that are going to allow you to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big eye-opener, and I'll no longer do 2 big events in 1 month. I'll space them out a little bit more. I'll be more selective because, then there's the other thing. I'm just going to do freaking everything. Sometimes your body can't do everything like that at the beginning, or maybe ever. Anyways, so that's that. That was what happened with Coast to Coast and me, and I enjoyed watching all the social media updates and the pictures. I mean, it looked pretty nice. I won't lie, like I was a little bit jealous, but it is what it is. You can't sit there and dwell because that's not healthy either. You just move on. There's another event I just signed up for in 2 weeks, and then our club event, and then August is here. Oh my God. There's a short event there, and then the one that I really want to put a lot of effort in is Hurton and Halliburton in September. Anyways, have yourself an amazing Canada Day. I hope maybe this helped you. But I really encourage you to go back and watch the 3-part series with Joe Friel. Can't remember what episodes they are. Let me maybe can find you. Hold on. It starts with episode... Hold on, I'm just looking here. Episode 225, then 228, and 231. So go back and check those episodes. They're all 3 of them different. They're breaking down Joe Friel's book, Fast After 50. Very good book as well. So with that, have an amazing day. Have an amazing Canada Day. Love you all. Don't forget to follow and also sign up for our newsletter so that you don't miss an episode. And have a good one. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, learning more about sighting people, places, and things that make cycling such an exciting sport. I am so glad you stopped by today. Please leave me a review if you feel so moved to do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would enjoy it, I would be forever grateful. Also, if you could please leave me a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving me an honest thought and an honest comment, telling me what you think, and most importantly, tell me what you'd like to hear more of. It would really help me to bring more great, inspiring cycling stories to you. Until then, have an amazing day. Make sure you ride your bike. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel if you'd like to see the full version of this podcast live.